So first we're going to go to Firebase. If you don't have a Firebase account, it's basically part of Google. Go to console, firebasegoogle.com, follow the instructions. I suggest to make the project here first. If you do it from the command line, it's going to ask for an ID and some other things that need to be unique. It's pretty easy in here. Let's just call it Firebase node. It's going to see this is going to have to be unique. So this is fine. We don't really care about this. We could move along. I think if you have a parent or your billing already set up, it might ask you that question. This you can play around with, try and get something special. That's one reason to do it in here. I don't think we want analytics right now. Let's just keep it simple. The other part of this is the Firebase command line tools. You're going to want to install these. This will make this kind of easy. So once we're in here, Firebase log in, or once you have the command line tools rather, then you can log in through your command line. If you're not logged in or you're going to switch accounts, it's the same thing, Firebase log out. If you are not logged in, Firebase login will launch the browser and you'll click on the account you want to log in with. Once we have a Firebase project ready, we'll call this Firebase node. So we are ready to go. So let's make a directory. Let's call this Firebase node. Let's go in here. So this will be our new project. We are going to probably want a git ignore. Most of the code will live inside of a functions folder, but we can set up a couple things off the bat. So maybe first things first, npm init, we need our package JSON. And then we probably want git ignore. It's going to happen. This is maybe an extra step. It's nice for Mac users because you have all that wonderful DS store stuff that'll come along with Git later if you I don't know. So here we go, Firebase init functions. So this is going to kick us off here. It's going to build a functions folder and set up Firebase in our project here. We're going to use an existing project, the one we just set up, Firebase-node, and with the unique ID. So this would have been a step we would have done in the command line before. We will just use JavaScript. I prefer TypeScript, but for this, we'll just use this. We'll say yes to ESLint, and we'll install some deps now. So this is built us a functions folder. It does have a git ignore. Again, I think you're going to want to, if you're on a Mac, maybe this is only me that's frustrated by this, but another step, cancel those out. And let's take a look at what we got. So this is the beginning. This is the boilerplate. ESLint, it's going to do its thing. So in here, we're going to build our Express app right in here. This is a function that will deploy. Firebase will deploy this folder for us. There's some commands. Take a look at the package JSON that exist already. There's a deploy, which will deploy just our functions. So when this is done, you can cd into functions, and you can npm run deploy, right? And then it's going to push your functions live. First, we're going to want a couple dependencies in here, or just one maybe to start. So let's use Express. And then we can go back. Now we have Express. So let's bring in Express. What else are we going to want here? I mean, I guess we just really want Express. This might be even simpler than I was anticipating here. So let's set up our app. This might look very familiar, of course. Here's our app, and let's export it. And I'm calling it app here. You can call it something else. You'll see if you have more of these or different functions, you can export these in different ways. I'll maybe link these in the notes or add some more videos here. But this could be anything. We could call this test or something. It's just going to name the function for us in the dashboard and for the deployment. So we have this. So we want maybe a simple route to make sure this works. Let's just do a default, kind of the root here. We have our, request and response. And, if it's all good, we will send back 200 and maybe with, I don't know, probably some JSON eventually, right? Or you could send it back whatever you want. Let's see, worldly hellos, right? So we're done. Express app, npm run deploy, right? Off we go. Express app. That's it. One thing we can do here, though, which is great, is run it locally. So maybe we want to serve it and kind of test it in our local environment beforehand. We need some billing for functions. So this is common. The thing here is that, Firebase is like, if you're going to host the next Twitter or something, we want you to be ready to pay for it. And so functions, the free tier is, I think, the first 2 million instances, or we can go look it up here in a sec. But we're just going to select pay as you go. It's free. Well, still in the free tier. This is an important step. Set a budget alert. So kick this down to a small number. Get a hello at 250, right? Like, you want to know right away. You could do even smaller. I don't know what your plan is here, but set a low number. If you are concerned that maybe someone's going to come along and just ping the heck out of your back end, you can set up a quota, and you can set up some limits. That's another video in the future. Now we have billing enabled. We have another step here, which is sometimes important. Default GCP resource location, where we want this to run, right? So we're going to stick this just in the standard Iowa, I think it is, U.S. Central, multi-region. I think this is fine. You could check out the other regions, see what makes sense. And I'm going to delete this at the end of the video, so don't worry about my secure keys here. If this is your project, you're going to want to protect all these unique API keys. Okay, so let's back up here. So while that's running, you can serve it locally. So this is very cool to test your API locally, right? Oops. So this is going to run our functions locally. It'll give us an endpoint here. And it opened it outside of your view, but let me try this again. So there's a couple different URLs that it gave us. So let's look at them. So first, localhost 4000. You can configure this as well if you are already using this port for something else. This is kind of your dashboard to see what's happening. There's functions. Exactly, I think we can click off to it here somewhere. Or maybe we just go to it. Same difference. Okay. And then this is actually kind of more important. So when you deploy it, it's going to deploy, and then you see this is our name here, app, that we called out in our exports. So if you call it something else, maybe you have a few of these or different things happening in here, you could name it something else. But it's like, so the root is /app and then the rest of it, right? So let's try it. Hey, it works. That's pretty cool. And just as an example, try it again. This is going to fail. And just to show you where this lives, this is on a route, right? So just to kind of clear that up. So app is our name that we chose, and then this is the route, right? So I hope that's clear. That will get you if you try and use this as your root, right? So just a heads up. I think our billing and default location is set. So we come back here, npm run deploy. And so this is command here. You can just type it out as well if you have the command line installed, Firebase or the Firebase tools installed, npm run deploy. And I'm inside the functions folder, so that's why these are working, right? Because our external package JSON is pretty empty. The other thing that's really cool with Firebase functions is cron jobs. And then this will be a future video, but you basically just set up another one, exports.cronjob, and write it out and deploy it. And this is, every Tuesday or whatever you want to do here. And I think you get maybe 3 per month or something like that. You can check out the free tier. It's also pretty generous, and it's just great. You could just, there you go, cron job set up. If you're working with the realtime database or with the Firestore, you're going to import them here. And actually, you know what? Maybe I missed a step here. That's a good point. We might need to initialize the app here for the permissions. I didn't use Firebase admin. Well, I guess it doesn't matter at this point because we're not using the database. But there's another package. I think it's already installed, and it's the admin. And so Firebase admin is basically the server permissions, right? And this gives you access to the database and all that extra stuff that we've actually really important. I probably should have included this. So apologies there. So let's say Firebase admin. Oh, you see, it's creating a node 10 function here. That's another thing. We could tick this up a notch. I think you can go to 12. I think that's it. I don't think you can do 14 yet. I think 12 is still long-term stable. But if you wanted to mess with this, you can change it here. And so how this would kind of look is you might initialize your app. So admin.initialize app, and the functions come with a config. So you can, this is a later video too, but this is how you would store environment variables. So that we'll do this in video too. But from here, now we can access the database. So look for that in the following video. So this is deployed. It gave us our actual deployed endpoint here. Let's go check it out. Oops. And of course, there's a browser off screen. That's not where we want to go. This is our deployed, in production, Express app. Boom, right? Come back here, functions. In our console, we can see it's deployed. It's using the default 256 megs of memory. We can edit it here. You can delete it. Oh, actually, sorry, we can't edit it here. There's another step. Google Console, if you want to edit this, if you want to change this around, you can increase this, I think, up to 2 gigs. And the default timeout is 60 seconds. That might be too long. If you don't, if it's pinging a production API over and over again, or a production endpoint in your app, you maybe don't want it to fail faster than this, right? 60 seconds might be an infinite loop for 60 seconds, where it's just pinging your friend's API or something like that. Logs will spit out logs here. If you put in console logs in your code, you can also see it here. And if you have a lot of these, you might want to filter by function here. This kind of gives you just a heads up. It took no time to give us this response back. If we hit it again, oops, apologies. So if we hit this again, 333, we should have a 334 in a second. It's slightly delayed. Pretty quick. Sometimes maybe you pause and restart. There is, oh, here we go. So there it is. So this is, it'll kind of pick up speed here. That's about it, really, for this part. There's, errors. Again, this is called app because we called it app. We can call it something else. Maybe that was confusing. But yeah, thanks for checking it out. This is deployed, and now I'm going to delete it all.